Who's playing you, stupid bitch?
No, bitch, you fucking stupid.
Nobody's playing your cat. Who's that?
Get off me.
I'm the wrong nigga.
Wait a minute.
I'm the wrong nigga. Hit me again, you nasty bitch. Hit me again, you nasty bitch. You nasty bitch. Put some smack on this bitch. You nasty hoe.
That's why your dick stink. That's why your dick stink. Bitch, get off me. Get off me.
Where'd you find them?
This
Where'd you
Instagram?
find them?
This
Where'd you
Instagram?
find them?
This Instagram? Like on the street.
Instagram?
You brought
Found
us to the
them on
studio.
Instagram
Found my
and dropped
Instagram.
them?
Had no control. Yo,
Good night, Authentic fam, and welcome back to Authentic Alphas. We're going to have another authentic conversation. So, it's already obvious what we're going to talk about tonight. It's going to be this unfortunate incident that took place recently on your favorite Fake and Fraud podcast with special guest Tommy Sotomayors. So, needless to say, I'm extremely disappointed in every man in that room, and I'm going to get into why. And I'm obviously going to do what I always do, which is give not only an honest and authentic perspective, but a unique perspective. All right? So, in my personal opinion, it's really frustrating the way that Fresh and Fit go about delivering their message. I think it's a flawed message. I think regardless of the aspects of it that are true, there's just way too much negativity around it. There's way too much propaganda, way too much rhetoric, way too much deception, too much disingenuous viewpoints. And it's a problem. It's a problem because of what it's going to do in the long run. It's a problem because of the effect that it's going to have on the young men that actually take this nonsense as the gospel. And when you look at the problem in society, the question should be, how did we get here? And the answer is very simple. Deception is how we got here. People, outlets, platforms, different forms of media, false education, all these different avenues of people being dealt false information, being given lies, fed deception for whatever nefarious means or whatever deceptive agendas that they're trying to push on the people. So one of the major issues that we have in the black community is that we don't have ownership of our image. Our cultural image has been tainted for many, many decades, many, many years. Well, how does one do that? Well, when they're constantly putting the most destructive, dysfunctional, and negative portrayals of our people in the literature, in the entertainment, in the news, in the media, you're always fed negative images of black people, all right? So what happens is that when people don't live around black people, they don't interact with black people, they don't have relationships with black people, their perspective of black people is going to be solely based on what they've been shown, on what they've been told. And if the only thing they've been shown and told is negative images, dysfunctional images, destructive images, well, guess what perception they're going to have of black people? It's really not hard to figure out. So the news is always going to, report the crimes that were done by black folk primarily. They're always going to give you this this black, perp in question. This is what we're looking for. And then you get that mistaken identity effect where all black men somehow are criminals now. Well, if that's all they ever show us doing is playing sports or committing crimes, in people's mind, black people have to be one or the other. Whereas we come in many, many different forms, many, many different mindsets, and different status, different level, different education levels. We have variety just like anybody else. But to non-black people, when this is the only image that they're shown, this is what they're going to get. Now, how does this relate to Fresh and Fit? Well, I know for a fact that Fresh and Fit go out of their way to only show the most ghetto, ratchet black women. And I'm going to get into proving that to you in 1 second, but I'm going to further make my point. So I also compare them a lot to OnlyFans girls because that's the mentality that they have. We have this environment now for young men. It's not the best. There's a lot of lonely guys out there, a lot of virgins out there, a lot of women, men struggling with women, and now we have OnlyFans that's exploiting that. It's taking advantage of that market that's available now because you have so many dissatisfied young men. And what is Fresh and Fit doing? They're doing the exact same thing as OnlyFans. They're not trying to help the situation. They're not trying to guide these young men. They're not giving these young men the truth. They're not giving them the tools. They're not helping them navigate jack shit. That's what they claim to be doing, but that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're funneling all these, sad dudes into a herd, and then they're exploiting them and monetizing that herd. It is what it is, all right? And that's the same thing, that all these all these female platforms do, all these female talk shows do. They take advantage of these unsatisfied women and tell them whatever they want to hear. They pander to them, tell them it's not their fault, it's men's fault, and give me your money, give me your views. That's exactly what Fresh and Fit do. They tell you, oh, it's only the women's fault. It's all women's fault. It's women's fault. It's not your fault that you're not getting good results in life. It's women's fault. Give me your money. And that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. Just like all black women being ghetto and ratchet is definitely not the case. All right? So for all the black women out there that are about to tell me, oh, but you don't date black women either. All right, time out. That's a completely different thing. All right? And I never was not dating women because they were black. What it is that majority of black women tend to be very problematic in relationships, and that's a whole nother issue that's not attached to them being ghetto and ratchet and uneducated and all this other kind of stuff. That's just simply in the black community, we've had generations of black women being told that black men can't be trusted, black men ain't shit, black men are gonna hurt them, so on and so forth. And because of that, they already have this preconceived notion that I personally don't have the time or energy to deal with. I'm not gonna go through my way to prove anything to anyone, just like I'm not gonna sit here and prove that I'm not lying on YouTube. You don't want to believe it, don't believe it. I'm not gonna sit here and break my back trying to prove to you that I'm not a liar when nobody has accused me of or caught me in a lie. So why do I have to defend myself for accusations that don't even exist for me personally? Okay, do YouTubers in general lie? Yeah, I guess so. The content creators in general lie? Yeah, probably. I ain't lying, so I ain't got to sit here and be overly defensive about it. That's the same way I feel about black women. I'm not out here making black women baby mamas. I'm not out here lying and cheating, and manipulating black women. All right, I'm not breaking their hearts. I'm not leaving them for whoever or whatever. So what do I have to be defensive about? Why am I going to put myself in a situation with a female where I constantly have to be proving myself when I never disproved myself? So that's where that is. But at the same time, I've never said that all black women are like this or all black women are like that. I've never said all women in general are like anything. I might say the majority are. I might say this is a common theme. I might say these are some of the issues that we need to tackle. Now, the reason why I'm disappointed is that I feel that Myron is of the age, Fresh is of the age, and certainly Tommy is of the age where they shouldn't be carrying on with women this way. The message or majority of the things that they have to say or the views that they have in black women, I agree with a vast majority of them. What I don't agree with is the way they choose to deliver these messages and the way they choose to monetize content that's going to portray women in this particular way. Now, I can say these things because I was the one that said to them, listen, this is what we should start doing. You need to start interviewing women. That way, when you talk about women, you can't be called a misogynist and, you can't be called all these names because you're involving women in the conversation. That was the basis of my idea. It was never primarily, let's make a lot of money because we're showcasing women. My primary concern and goal was, how do we have these conversations in the manosphere, in a space that's dominated by men, without being called these names, without being shut down and canceled, and ridiculed just simply because we have disparaging things to say about women. And what I came up with is, if you involve people in the conversation, now you can criticize that group of people and you can open up that discussion with members of that particular group and come to some type of understanding rather than it just sound like hate speech. That's what I brought to them. And what they did was they bastardized it. Now, I can also talk about particularly the black females that they choose to book for the show, because that used to be my gig. That was my job. I was the one providing all the girls for the show and the black females as well. And I put more effort into the black females that I put on the show than anyone else. Why? Because regardless of the fact that I probably don't date black women for whatever personal reasons, it doesn't mean that I don't care about the image of black women, just like I care very much about the image of men in general, but more so the image of black men. All right, I believe that we need to take back control of our cultural image. That's first and foremost. The reason why people, including black people, believe all these negative stereotypes and have this negative expectation of our own people is simply because of the images we've constantly been fed. That's the problem. Okay, so if I'm in a position where I'm choosing who's going to be in front of that camera, then I have a certain type of responsibility. So I put more effort and more consideration into the black women that I've put on the show. And I went out of my way to not put so-called ratchet and ghetto and ignorant black women on the show.
So right now, there's a lot of talk about dating in the black community.
Oh, can I say one thing? So I've been getting heat for like weeks now, right? Because I said one thing, bro, right? All I said was, I do not date black ratchet girls of low value. Now, did I say I don't date black women at all? I didn't say that.
No.
I said ratchet ghetto black chicks. Now, that being said, I do prefer certain type of girl, and that is not ratchet. So me saying does not mean that I don't like black girls.
Right.
I just want to say that up front. Cool.
I think you're.
Love today.
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, just keeping it real. I don't really date black girls. It's not because like most black girls are like annoying. How to put this? Ratchet, and they don't know how to like be
Carry
reserved.
themselves.
You're like the complete opposite.
You
So
are not the
props to you.
stereotype.
Yeah,
You are not the
You
stereotype.
are not the same. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so we'll give you that compliment.
What's
It's a
your
pleasure.
Instagram?
None of the girls that I brought on the show were the stereotype. None of them. Even the non-black girls, they weren't necessarily the stereotype. I might have brought some that are the stereotype on just for variety, just to have as much diversity as I could bring so that we can have this conversation with women of all different walks and ideologies. The question is, why is it that since I've been gone, the girls have become more and more ghetto, more and more ratchet, more and more ignorant, and less attractive? Why is it that all the black girls that have been on the show since I've been gone fall into this type of demographic? Do you really think that's by accident? Well, I can tell you that it's not by accident, because I was the one having these conversations with these guys, and this is what they wanted. They wanted women that are going to be easily provoked, easily triggered, and quick to be ignorant, quick to be violent, quick to be belligerent. That's what they wanted, because this is what they want to show you guys. They want to get that shock factor, right? They want to get that Jerry Springer effect, okay? And they want to degrade women and exploit them in the process. I wasn't comfortable with that. That was the beginning brewings of me parting ways with these guys, is that I never bit my tongue about any of these issues. Let's not forget, I'm the reason why they had an all-black panel and an all-black discussion, because I kept pushing and pushing and pushing for it, even though it was making Myron very, very, very irritated with me, and he was running out of patience with having someone there that was constantly calling them on their shit.
Me personally, I can't, I'm a very emotionally, spiritually attached person. So if I really like your vibe, I'm going to get attached to you. So I feel
it's kind of a question to whatever God said. I'm looking at it from this point of view. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. So if, you're going to go sleep around and guys don't really give a fuck, he's going to come back to you. Mm-hmm. I was trying to say in a perspective of the girl not sleeping around with different men. What if she gets another side nigga?
Next.
So my name is Hanaya. I'm 21 years old, and right now I am pursuing a career in cosmetology.
Yes.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexa, and I'm a talent agent. Awesome.
How old for the audience?
Huh?
How old?
It's okay.
No. Next.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm 21 years old, and I'm majoring in forensic science.
All right, awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Essence, and I'm a full-time model here in Miami.
Awesome.
All right.
Oh,
Perfect.
I'm 22.
22. All right. Cool. And what about you?
My name is Jenny Kim. I'm currently in school to be a nurse injector. And I'm 26 years old.
Okay.
That's it, right?
A nurse injector? You mean injector?
Okay. we'll go over to the casting couch over there.
What's your question?
If you have one.
So I know that one day that I'm going to want to have children, and I know I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. Now, not all women are the same, right? Some women want to do other things, but for me, I'm going to want to take care of my kids and have them be my first priority. So I feel like it's going to be hard.
I'm just curious.
Well, you can do both, right? We're dating. I mean, if a guy asks me on a date, I'm not going to know he makes $50,000 a year right away. You know what I'm saying?
But
So,
if you find out, though.
if I find out, then I find out. But if he's taking up all my time, it's obviously because I'm not dating anyone else. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to date a millionaire, but none of them are asking me out, then I'm spending time with my 50K guy.
That's why you're resentful. That's why you ain't happy with him, and you know it. If a better guy comes along, Mr. Organic, if he hit you up right now after the show, what's your number, shorty? That dude is done, and you know it because women aren't built to lead, and you know it. I know everyone at this table knows it.
Take him off, please.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm saying if a guy's taking care of me, you know, can handle what he's doing. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be driving that Ferrari.
I ain't even gonna lie. I don't like being cheated on. Okay,
Sorry.
I will go with the guy that got the bread that's gonna take care of me, but it's gonna be a crazy toxic relationship. Okay, and I can't stand it. I don't like to be unhappy. I don't like because I'm crazy. You cheating on me.
What you're saying? I just had one quick question.
Yeah.
So while you were talking, you said you were like the things that guys look for, like, you know, beauty, youth, whatever. Okay, what happens when she gets older? Like.
Now, you've seen some examples of the black women that I brought on the show. As you can tell, they're attractive. A lot of them are pretty well-spoken, ladylike, feminine, and for the most part, respectful.
That men are excluded, but then they be wrong.
I don't think it's funny, though.
I think you should let him speak. It's just a respect thing. It's not even a woman.
Yeah, when you were giving
It's just
your
respect.
opinion, no one laughed at you. No one said anything.
Right. That's fine.
Well, they let you talk.
Okay.
Kick out Cam.
Yeah, you know what, man? Fuck this shit. Yo, just leave. Facts. Like,
No,
legit.
I'm not. I'll
You-
never laugh at you again.
Nah. Just, yo, Large, get her out of here, bro. Facts. I'm dead serious. Get her out of here.
No.
No, I'm dead. I made my decision. Get the fuck out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't being rude.
No, you have been rude, and I've given you many chances. I'm tired of it.
I'm sorry.
All right, take off your headphones. Get up. Get the fuck out. How many times do I gotta tell you?
No, I wasn't. No joke on the internet. No.
Large, get her out of here, bro.
Here's an example of one girl that might have got a little too tipsy. But does that give Myron the right to speak to her like that? Can you not see an obvious agenda here? Why would he be taking it so personal? Why would he be responding to her like that? Why would he be so emotional? Why is he intentionally being outlandishly disrespectful to this woman? And the more that she's trying to de-escalate the situation is the more that he's turning it up. Because now that he's seeing that she's going to take this abuse, he's turning up the verbal abuse as to say what? That women deserve to be treated this way? That she in particular deserves to be treated this way? That you're some type of tough guy, you're some type of badass because you're talking to a drunk chick like this? But this is somebody that's, you know, really, really desperately trying to prove to these young boys that watch him that he's some type of player, that he's some type of, you know, Frank Castle, and I punish bad behavior and I don't tolerate this from no women. Bro, that is not the behavior of a dude that does well with women, gets women, has women, maintains women, gets results from women, gets what he wants from women, and that damn sure is not game. I'll say it again. Game is getting women to do what you want them to do willingly. It's them wanting to do what you want from them. Them trying to come up with more things that you might want, that you might like. That's how much effort they're putting into pleasing you. That's game, all right? Trying to control women by force or some type of leverage, that's not game. That's a void of game. When you need to hang something over a chick's head to get her to behave the way you want her to behave, when you need to threaten her or take something from her or punish her. This isn't game, guys, all right? Please stop being fooled by this nonsense because it's going to get you in trouble in real life. The average person is not going to get away with dealing with women this way.
I wasn't being rude.
No, you have been rude, and I've given you many chances. I'm tired of it.
I'm sorry.
All right, take off your headphones. Get up. Get the fuck out. How many times do I gotta tell you?
No, I wasn't. No joke on the internet. No.
Large, get her out of here, bro.
Understand? No, that's fine.
And I'm gonna escort you out too. Make sure you don't fuck up my shit.
No, I wasn't being rude.
No, you are. Now get the fuck out.
No, I didn't.
I gotta tell you again.
Oh shit.
No, get out.
That's why my daughter's
Get your shoes.
I know.
Being a man and exerting yourself, being dominant, that's not the way that that's done. Now, the goal should be to get women to calm down, to relax, to be receptive to what you're saying, and to fall under your wing, to fall under your dominance. But they have to first respect you in order to do that. And they're not going to respect you if you come down to their level. And arguing with women and getting animated and emotional, that's coming down to their level. Therefore, they're not going to respect you as a man because you're behaving more like a chick.
So yeah, you could actually pick up the mic and like talk into it, or you could
She gotta be on camera though.
Yeah, she's on camera.
Is it muted?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I want to start off and apologize to you because my reaction to the video.
Can we hear her? No.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay,
We got her.
cool. Yeah.
I watched the video this morning upon waking up,
Mhm.
and absolutely uncalled for. Like I wanted to come face to face on your show because I acted a fool on your show. I came entirely too intoxicated, and as a woman, I didn't display any qualities that would have been of high quality, like we were discussing. I absolutely don't act like that. I was too intoxicated, and yes, I should have never appeared like that. That was my fault, and I just felt like it was really important that I came to apologize to you, to the show, to your viewers, because this is a show of great pride. I looked at your stuff.
So I spoke to that female after that had happened, and she apologized to me, and I told her, listen, you don't have to apologize to me. You know, I booked you in good faith, and you might have got a little tipsy, you might have got a little drunk, but that sure as heck was not grounds for him to talk to you that way. But it is this man's show. He's going to run it the way he runs it. Usually I pull the black women aside and give them a little bit of a pep talk, or I give them a little bit of preparation, and I try to give them a heads up on Myron's attitude and his behavior and his intention. And I let them know this guy's going to try to provoke you. This guy's going to try to get you to say something back and give him enough ammunition to throw you out and make a spectacle of you. So he wasn't able to pull that off on the black women that I was bringing on the show because I had already prepared them and told them, listen, don't let him trigger you. Don't take it personal. Whatever he says, just laugh, smile, whatever, and keep it moving. And if you fresh and fit stands, actually pay attention, you will see that. In the time frame that I was operating on that podcast, Myron was not able to provoke the black women and kick them off because I told them all ahead of time, don't even do this guy's a chump. Don't even let him get to you. And there were many times that he tried, and he would get frustrated when he couldn't get the response out of them he wanted to be able to throw them out. But this particular girl, I had her go back and apologize because I was trying to make it a teachable moment because I want women to get better at having these conversations with guys. And of course, Myron did not take an opportunity when it was given to him. He instead was still being arrogant, condescending, and cocky, instead of using that as a moment to be a stand-up dude and lead by example and accept her apology like a gentleman. He was being a dick as if she personally did something to him, which she obviously did not. You can go back and watch the footage. She just had a couple of drinks and cut the dude off a couple of times. What's the big deal? If you're used to dealing with women, that's to be expected. The thing is how do you deal with it as a man so that they stop cutting you off, you get your point across, and they respect you like a real man.
I had comments in my video saying the way she was acting is proof that Tommy had and others talk about it in regards to black women. Is that fair to say? No, it doesn't prove that that's what Tommy says with black women. It's the type of black women that these guys, that Tommy and these guys deal with, right? Because you got to understand it's perception. Not a lot of black women would do this, what she's doing. Now, there are certain types of black women that would, right? If you go to, I mean, she looks like an inner city chick. Like, just being real. She's an inner city chick, right? She done been around. She done seen some things, all right? And you even see how she get on. The way she has no fear, no hesitation being physical with a dude, meaning she grew up in an environment where that shit was just normal.
So shout out to Duke and Don. He's like on the exact same page. I didn't even realize that he, well, I knew he would put a video out. Of course, Duke is gonna talk about whatever the latest controversy is. But he's obviously on the same page. I haven't actually spoken to him, but I will speak to him soon. I haven't been able to contact him because as I'm recording this, he's actually doing his live. So, shout out to Duke and Dawn. Much love. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on most things, and we damn sure agree on this. So basically, he's saying the same thing that I'm saying here, is that these guys are hand-picking and hand-selecting the worst representation of black women that they can find as to make this point. And it's not just black women they do this with all women. They try to find the worst examples of women to kind of support their narrative, which is toxic as all hell. But we have to really address this because, like I said, as black men, we have a responsibility to we got to police this shit, because this is bad for all of us. This is not only bad for every black guy in the manosphere, but it's just bad for the community in general. And of course, I got to keep on using the term black for lack of better words, because most of y'all ain't on board with what the hell I'm trying to say about stop letting people call you black. You're not black. That's the first damn problem we have, but I guess we'll get to that. But that's our image being disenfranchised in literature, like in the written sense, just us being referred to as black people, right? That's already a strike against our image. Okay, now when you have images of us on TV and social media and movies or whatever, always being the criminals, always being the gangsters, always being the thugs and the pimps and whatever else, okay, that's again our image, visually, that's attacking our image, right? So we got to start doing something about this, and it damn sure is not going to happen with us fighting with the female, part of the equation. Black men and black women got to first at least get on the same damn page.
So chicks like that gravitate into different fields that don't really help their image of men, don't really even help their image of just themselves. So when we look at women like this behaving in ways like this, and then we look at similar women behaving that way when that Fresh and Fit brings on the podcast that end up on a kickout cram, what are the similarities? The similarities, they come from fucked up neighborhoods and fucked up backgrounds. The same shit that Tommy Sotomayor was preaching about when it's old content. When he talks about black communities, black families, black women, this is the shit he talks about. Here he is dealing with one and is completely mishandling the situation.
Agree 100%. Tommy mishandled the situation, and that's why I'm disappointed with him. Like, damn, bro. I definitely expected more from Tommy. And when we spoke off camera, what I proposed to him is that we do something together, we plan it, we get it all set up, and the idea was I was going to bring women, but the same way that I always try to bring women is to bring particular women that are going to complement the perspective and the view of the particular individual that I'm trying to interview the women with. So Tommy's situation, for those of us who aren't familiar with Tommy, he's known for being, I wouldn't even know how to describe it. Let's see. Let's just say Tommy is known for talking very badly about black women. That's like what he's notorious for. So what I wanted to do with Tommy was literally the opposite of what he did with Fresh and Fit. I wanted to have him with black women that were going to be prepared to have these uncomfortable conversations. Black women that are going to be respectful, they're going to be well-spoken, they're going to be classy, and damn sure going to have to be attractive. They're going to have to be sexy now. But to be able to have this conversation without it being this flagrant thing, this angry, violent, or Tommy against the women, I wanted it to be more Tommy explaining his views to these women and why he says the things that he says and why he triggers black women the way that he does, and the conversation to be progressive. And Fresh and Fit just set him up with the worst match, the worst black women to have this conversation with. Now, from what I understand, he's also guilty of making the same mistake that Fresh and Fit have made, primarily Myron, which is mixing the business with the pleasure, which is trying to sleep with the same damn girls that you're trying to do these podcasts with, which is an absolute no-no. Not just in the world of podcasting and YouTube, but in the world of, like, Earth. You don't want to mix business with pleasure, like, at all. And if you are going to do it, it has to come much, much later after you've already had a healthy business relationship with this person before you could even consider trying to mix some pleasure into it. It's just not a good look, especially nowadays when it can come back to bite you in the ass years later. Some girl can claim something happened. And now if this girl didn't mind putting pause on Tommy, do you think she would have a problem with filing some type of false allegation or making some type of complaint in the future if she was ever to be scorned? So I'm disappointed because these guys are older men, bro. Maybe Myron needs to pick up some new mentors, get some management or something, but 32 should be old enough to know better. And Tommy is like, what, 50 something? Or late 40s or something like that. Tommy's late 40s. Sorry, Tommy. Sorry. Tommy's in his late 40s. Tommy's like 48 years old, something like that. Whatever. The point is Tommy's old enough to know better, all right? And I feel like Fresh and Fit matched them up with the wrong type of chicks. They definitely weren't able to handle this type of conversation material. And this is what we got. And it's something that looks bad for everyone. And I'm telling you right now, Fresh and Fit are definitely doubling down on being the villains in this space because they just keep on adding incidents that are going to make them like non-redeemable. And this is definitely, listen, let me just put one more thing in here that was really disappointing about seeing this. I was going back and forth with other content creators just recently, taking the stand that I believed that Myron was going to be able to land Jordan Peterson as a guest, right? And I thought Michaela was going to be the stepping stone and the guarantee to pulling it off. If you could get Jordan Peterson's daughter on, then you damn sure should be able to get Jordan Peterson on as soon as he's available. But after this incident, you got to really ask yourself, what is the likelihood that they're going to be able to get these major opportunities that would be awesome for the space if they handled it properly and appropriately? I mean, how many opportunities is this guy going to fuck up that nobody else in the manosphere is getting, right? That opportunity with Tim Pool, all he did was just go on there and look like an idiot for trying to file these false copyright claims against everyone. For someone who doesn't want to be silenced, you're out here trying to silence your competition and your peers just because you don't like what they're saying about you, which is true. It's true on top of that. It's not even like people are lying about you. People are just calling you out. And what you do is you go and file something fraudulent. So you made yourself look like a fool, and you made us all look bad on Tim Pool's podcast because Tim Pool isn't part of the Manosphere or the Red Pill community, right? So you went there as a representative, and look how you made us look on that. You had an opportunity to work with Kevin Samuels. You screwed that up. You went on Flagrant. You made us look like a bunch of idiots on Flagrant. You see what I mean? Now you might have an opportunity to sit down with Jordan Peterson, who is like one of the greatest thinkers of our current time. And he's making huge progress as far as turning young people around and opening up young people's perspective and giving them something to work with to better themselves. And you got an opportunity to sit down with Jordan Peterson, which would be huge for the manosphere. And you do this.
Yo, my nigga, hold on. Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Yeah. You just said those two names is meant for disaster. Tommy is literally the Ghostbusters of black women. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. And that chick is like the Super Saiyan of black women. It ain't gonna work.
So what happened is that like she had a resentment against Tommy because they flew out to the team in Atlanta. He flew them out to do OnlyFans content or Smash whatever, right? But he
From what I understand, Tommy flew both of these girls out, and he decided to smash her friend, I guess, which was a light-skinned friend.
So yeah, I don't know why Donovan isn't calling him out on trying to hook up with a chick that was on the show. These dudes are successful. These dudes are older. I don't know why they keep on acting like they got a shit where they eat. There's really no excuse for it. There's women everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's women. You don't got to be hooking up with the girls that have been on the podcast. And for someone that's brought over 160 girls, okay, over 160 girls on the Fresh and Fit podcast, I slept with none of them. So I can say the things that I'm saying, all right? There's no hypocrite in my body. There's no hypocrite bones in me, all right? I can say these things because I was in the position these guys were in, and I made the more mature decision. I made the more responsible decision. A lot of these girls were super hot, and they were drinking, and they were a little tipsy, and they did want to hang out after the podcast. It's not worth it. Also, we got to set a better example for these younger guys. None of us are perfect. We're all going to make mistakes. We need to at least limit those mistakes. And Tommy set himself up for this one. Oh, and one more thing before I move on. I also want to add that I don't agree with Donovan on that at all. Okay? To say that Tommy needs to start messing with white women because white women would never do that, this isn't a race issue. This isn't a color issue or skin tone issue. This is just a character issue. If you get a white girl that's from the projects or from a low-income area who's on OnlyFans, who's had that type of lifestyle, who's had that type of history, who's lacking in education, lacking in femininity, she's going to behave the same way. She's also going to be violent and belligerent. So I don't even know why someone Donovan's age would even say something so stupid. And then Donovan like lives in Vegas, or he lived in Vegas, Reno area. Like, you're familiar with low income white women also. Don't act like you've never experienced ghetto white women. At one point in time, did they have any better behavior than low income black women? Like, let's stop this. This is not a race thing at all. This is just a class issue. That broad was not classy, and you got a not classy reaction out of her.
To Tommy, she's going to jail. That sounds like her fault to me. It is what it is. It is what it is. And listen, I love me some Tommy, and Tommy loves black women, but Tommy, you got to start fucking with white girls. I'm trying to tell you. Like, in that same situation, white girls won't do you like that. White girls know better.
Specifically only talks about black girls, and I'm just so fed up with that. So unfollow him, and if black girls didn't make themselves so talk-aboutable, Tommy wouldn't talk about y'all. Because you nigga, you are black, your mother's black. What are you doing? What does that have to do with anything? See, now she's using the same weak, tired-ass talking points. Okay, just because I'm black and my mom's black, that means I can't be critical of black people, black women? No, that's not what that means. See, this is shaming language. You're black, your mom is black, your family's black, so you shouldn't be critical of black people. No, that's exactly why he should be critical of black people. Fuck out of here. But again, remember when Tommy said, hey, listen, y'all listen to dudes like Derek Jackson and all these niggas that blow smoke up y'all's ass. Y'all don't have a problem with that. But as soon as a nigga like me comes along and says, hey, black women, y'all need to lose weight, lose the attitude, and become agreeable. Oh my God, misogynoir. Fuck out of here. Like, stop. It's not that deep when you saying you doing it to make black people, black women come together and you doing it for a reason. That's cap. That's fucking cap. You know what the fuck you doing. You a fucking puppet.
So we got the problem on both sides, man. We got guys like Tommy and Donovan Sharp that are going out of their way to target black women and blame everything on black women and make it seem like all black women are this bad. And then you got black guys like Kwame Brown that are going to defend black women just because they're black women. See, that's the problem right there. Acting like all black women are ghetto, ratchet, violent, single mamas, right? That's an extreme, and it's saying that all black women are this way. That's a problem. And then you got the guys like Kwame Brown, where it's like, oh no, she's a black queen. You can't disrespect these black women. You can't criticize these black women because they black women. It's like, no, all black women are not respectable and to be worshipped and put on a pedestal just because they're black and given a pass. And all black women aren't terrible, ratchet, ghetto baby mamas. Neither extreme is the truth, and both of them are a problem. So a Tommy Sotomayor is going to be a problem, and a Derek Jackson is going to be a problem. They're doing the opposite. One is trying to condemn all black women. One is trying to, worship all black women. Both is going to be a problem. We need to stick to the facts, stick to the truth. We need to stay right here in the middle and just be practical about this. Be responsible about it. Let's highlight what qualities are desirable in black women, and let's demonize the qualities that aren't. That way we can get our women back on the right track, on the right page, because it's the men that need to set the standard. But it gets hella confusing and non-productive when you got men over here saying that we're going to love you, respect you, and treat you good and protect you and all of this stuff just because you're black. You ain't got to make no changes or adjustments or improvements. And then you got the other side saying no matter what you do, you're damned and you're doomed because you're black. What do you expect from the women if this is the message that they're getting from their men?
You are willing to let somebody know I tried to fuck you. This is stupid. Because I didn't fuck him on OnlyFans. Is your weed that tight today, ma'am? Is the glue fucking with you? Niggas paid me. Do you hear me? This bitch is drunk and acting stupid. I'm dead ass not drunk. You dead ass drunk and stupid. I promise to God. That weed too tight and you need a different kind of glue. I'm not drunk right now. Dumb son of a bitch. Just up here just being ignorant for no reason. No. He not finna try to play me on the Who's playing you, stupid bitch? No, bitch, you fucking stupid. Nobody's playing your got too bad.
He really tried to fight a girl though. He out of pocket. Oh, she don't got no underwear on. You see that? You see that? She did it? Oh, I thought I was tripping.
All right, so I gave you guys another look at this ignorance and this nonsense, and it's just really even more disappointing to find out that Tommy was like associating with this chick and trying to hook up with her. It's just like, good Lord, what's going on, man? You got Myron saying all these things about black women, but then he goes and gets not only a black chick pregnant, but a black chick that was on Seeking Arrangements, on OnlyFans, selling herself, already a single mother, and dealing with all kind of trauma and dysfunction. So you don't deal with black women, but you not only knock up a black woman, you knock up the worst type of black woman. And then you got Tommy talking all this about black women, but then you're trying to hook up with the very same black woman that, number one, was not attractive. I'm sorry, sister. She's not attractive. She's not physically attractive. Then her attitude, personality, just horrible, terrible. Then she also is on OnlyFans, so who knows what type of trauma, what childhood she's dealing with. And she's violent and puts hands on grown men. I guarantee you Tommy was not the first dude that she snuffed in the face. So, Tommy, what's going on here, bro? Because you're saying that you have all these issues with black women and these type of black women in particular, but then you were trying to smash this very same chick. You flew her out? You mean to tell me out of all the black women in the world, you couldn't find better stock? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, man. Social media, everything is full of variety. Anytime I'm ready to deal with a beautiful sister, they are not hard to find. I just, on Valentine's, interviewed a beautiful black chick. And her friends look good too. They're here. They exist. They're in and out of Miami and every other city. They're all through LA. They're all through Houston. They're all through Atlanta for sure. Although you got to be careful with those girls from Atlanta because the HIV and the herpes is out of. All right, that's a whole other thing. The point is that I cannot understand how is it that even when these dudes do deal with black chicks, they dealing with the lowest quality. And I thought these dudes were supposed to be men of value. They keep talking about how much success they have. They keep talking about how much money they have. And what? Come on, Tommy.
I'm gonna mute my mic, and then Skinny, you mute your mic. We just want to hear from you and just run it down to what happened. You can tell. I'm gonna mute my mic, and then Skinny, you mute your mic. We just want to hear from you and just run it down to what happened. You can tell us whatever you want to tell us.
What really happened was the whole show, everything was good in the beginning. Trust me, everything was good. Once we got there, boom, we sitting down, he talking. What made me start realizing that he was being funny is when he started talking about, oh, if he fly a girl out, she ain't get make them stay. I mean, make her like, get her own flight back. All this, like he was just really hockey, but throwing slugs at me, but nobody not knowing because they not knowing he flew me and Claudia out there. So when, by the way, they deleted my Instagram. Tommy and them got my Instagram deleted. So right now I'm trying to get my Instagram back up right now.
She assaults him, and now she's going to tell everybody, well, he got my Instagram taken down. Did he tell you he got your Instagram taken down? No, she's trying to put up stupid shit about Tommy to try to.
Donovan right there, man. Stop it. Stop being disingenuous. Okay, Donovan filed fraudulent copyright claims against other YouTubers before Myron did. If anything, he's probably the person that suggested that to Myron. Like, hey, you could always do this. So I also know that he's aware that Myron deactivates people's Instagrams. Now Donovan's over here acting like this girl's making it up. Come on, Donovan, that's very disingenuous. You should have just not commented on it at all because now you're coming across as a liar, acting as if Myron doesn't do that. Okay, Myron does that. Myron does that. Okay, and Donovan knows Myron does that. You really think that it's just a coincidence that this thing happened on Fresh and Fit and then the next day she's telling you that her Instagram has been hacked and deactivated? Much like mine's, much like Alex playing with fire, much like the girl Kay that spit in Myron's face. There was another chick that also was saying that Myron deactivated her Instagram. This other dude, Kevin Ray Wilder, the other guy, Spencer Cornelius. Come on, man. You really think all these people that have had an issue with Fresh and Fit and their Instagram has been deactivated, that's a coincidence? Really? We're all just making it up? We're all just throwing out these accusations? Stop it, man. You guys got to. All right, let me end this shit with this. All right? I'm disappointed because these are supposed to be men. These are guys that are supposed to be counseling guys on masculinity and manhood. And not only are they resorting to this type of tactics, doing all this behind the back cyber hacking and trying to deactivate platforms and get your YouTube taken down. None of that's masculine. None of that's manly. All of that is some cheating, under the table, weak dude shit. And then bringing women on just to pick on them, bringing women on who are going to make a fool of themselves. That's low-hanging fruit, guys. So none of this shit to me is stand-up dude stuff. And I really don't care because none of these dudes can see me when it comes to integrity anyway. But the problem is that there's young boys out here following these guys. That's the part that irritates the hell out of me. It's because I'm not looking at what these guys are doing just in the present. I'm looking at how this is going to affect young guys moving forward. Because this is how we have the type of women that we have today. Because they were brought up on lies and deception. They were manipulated, conditioned. They were brainwashed to hate men, to hate the patriarchy, to hate black men. That's how they got how they are now. Okay? So why are we feeding young guys that same bullshit? Why are we feeding young guys that same negativity and telling them that the world is this terrible place that's out to get them and that women are horrible creatures and gold diggers and liars and thieves and young boys, stop listening to these dudes. All right? These guys are giving terrible advice. They're a terrible freaking influence at this point. And any way that Tommy could find himself in a situation where a female's putting hands on him, he made a wrong turn. All right? A lot of you guys that listen to these dudes, the first thing you're going to say is, oh, no. She's proven that's how black women are and that's how women are. And she put it. Okay. As a man, why are you putting yourself in the same vicinity as those type of people? That's where Tommy went wrong. If you're a dude that's successful, you're of high status, you hold yourself in a certain regard, why would you even put yourself in the company of people that are going to be into this type of ignorance and this type of foolishness? That's what I'm trying to say. If you riding in a car with people and you got your shit together, you own homes, you own properties, you own businesses, and you in the car with people that got illegal substances on them or something like that, okay? Driving without a valid on a suspended license, doing all this type of stuff, and then you guys get pulled over, and now you all go to jail. What are you gonna say? It's the fault of the other people? The question is gonna be, if you're this person, why would you have even been in the car with those people? So the question is, why would Tommy be flying in this type of chick? Why would Tommy be bringing this type of chick on the podcast with him? Why would these guys be around these type of women? That's why the fault falls on the men, because they're supposed to be dictating what happens, what goes on. They're the ones supposed to be deciding who is worthy to even come into the space and have these conversations. Who's even worthy to come into your car, come into your home, come into your bedrooms. This is what we mean by guys have to take accountability for their choices first and foremost. Before you start blaming shit on the women, you have to first take accountability. All right? That's how that works. So we got to pay attention to what's going on, guys. Stay out of trouble. Be careful who you listen to and who you follow and who you let influence you. Let's make better decisions. I'm out of here. Peace.
Who believes that Fresh and Fit are the men that they say they are? Who believes that? I mean, if you sit up there and you watch their show, you hear all the time what type of women to avoid, how to vet women, avoiding 304s, high value this, beta male that, alpha male this, alpha male that. And what do we find out? One of them gets an OnlyFans model pregnant, and the other one makes a sex worker his girlfriend. Now, God bless the sex workers. I'm not hating on the sex workers. But you don't go from sex worker, because listen, if you're getting CashApped for sex or sexual favors, you, my dear, are a sex worker. That's just what you are. You don't go from sex worker to be my girlfriend. And then these guys want to turn around and make you think they got all these different options and know how to get women and all that. If that's the case, then what are you doing getting OnlyFans model pregnants and making sex workers your girlfriend?